So often as communicators, we spend most of our time telling other people's stories, and we lose our own voices. So it's really nice to just have that opportunity every once in a while to, reclaim them. So I want to tell a story that may be familiar for many of you. So how many of you know the story of Chicken Little who cried out, "The sky is falling"? So I want you to think about the Disney version, because in that version, nobody gets eaten by a fox. And while there's no aliens in my tale, this is about a time when the sky was actually falling. At the time, I was working in London, and our communications leadership team was based in New York. And I can really just vividly remember this. An ash cloud in Iceland with a name I don't dare try to pronounce started to erupt. For 7 days in April, 100,000 flights were canceled, 10 million passengers stranded. To put that into perspective, if any of you know YVR, about 1.6 million people pass through their gates every single month. So that's like closing YVR for 6 months. Imagine that. So there I am in London, and ash started to disrupt travel on a Wednesday. I can still remember that first conversation I had with my team in the US. Me. So there's a volcano erupting, and ash is starting to disrupt travel, and airports are closing. Them. Okay. So we don't want to overreact. We don't want to cause traveler panic. We maybe should get all the facts. Me. Okay, so this is the UK, and one little snowflake causes traveler panic. We really need to be ready to act. And as I hung up the phone, I could hear eyes rolling across the Atlantic. If planes could fly out of JFK in a blizzard, why couldn't they take off of Heathrow in an ash cloud? Well, simply put, snow melts, ash turns to glass. So this is that point where the questioning, am I doing the right thing kind of kicks in. Because as communicators, we walk this really fine line. Overreact and we risk ours and our company's reputations. Underreact and it's pretty much the same thing. So at what point are we being courageous because the sky is falling and nobody believes us? Or overreacting because an acorn has hit us on the head? So for me, sitting in London, knowing exactly how travelers react, leaves on a train track, train stop, snow, Heathrow shuts down, I knew that we had to do something. I knew that the facts were saying, we really need to tell travelers what's happening. So I went with my gut. So one of the things I always think about when I think about communications job descriptions is that they really should say two things. One, must have excellent writing skills, and one, must have courage. So this is why I think of the story of Chicken Little, because Chicken Little had courage. So I got to work on the second part of that job description, the writing. And I started to write with our travelers in Europe in mind. So the timeline really was, on Wednesday, ash started to disrupt travel. On Thursday, all air traffic in the UK was grounded. And by Friday, we were able to send out communications with the backing of the UK leadership team to our European travelers. And still at this point, we had no global communications response. So on Friday, I left the office knowing our European customers were covered. On Saturday, there was no air traffic in London. The skies were silent. In every single airport in Europe, there were no planes flying west. So what do? I get my hair cut. And as I'm sitting in the stylist chair, my phone rings, and it's the team in the US. Could I take what we had done for Europe and adapt it for a global audience? And could I do it right now? Because to quote Chicken Little, the sky is falling.